All right, picking up where I left off from the last video, I showed you how to share or find Teach Suite lessons. From here, we're going to talk about editing and creating page templates. So this is the one that I had found and copied from the Discover tab, but I'm not quite sure I want to use it the way it is, so we're going to edit. So while make sure you're in edit, um, I'm going to click here and I see that it's New Mexico. Well, I'm in Louisiana. So I'm going to ask, can you change these standards to Louisiana State Science Standards for 6th grade? Oops. And then we're going to let it see what it can do. It may need me to upload the standards, but since I've used this before, it could possibly already have that information. I'll pause here while it's thinking. All right, so it went ahead and it went through and it says it's done. It changed it to Louisiana state standards, left those untouched. Let me know if you want me to swap those. Yes, definitely. Always say yes. It knows better than I do, so I always say yes. All right, there you go. All right, so previously on other videos, I showed you how to add in the Louisiana educator's rubric or whatever your state rubric is. I'm going to go ahead and add that resource because I want it to do something specific. No, desktop. I want to add the, oops, on my, let me pause while I find it. All right, I found it. There it is. All right, so I added in my Louisiana educators rubric because I want something specific on this home page. So while it's loading, I'm going to go ahead and type what I want it to do. I want it to create a starter page for learners with required items from, oh, they are. Let's see what it comes up with. We'll pause here again while it's thinking. Okay, so it's finished thinking. It has now added in all the things that the Louisiana Educators Rubric recommends. So I can see on this page, it's got everything that's aligned to my standards now. So because I borrowed this lesson from Teach Suite, I'm going to say borrowed because I'm changing it. I'm also going to add the state standards for my content, my grade level right here. And I want it to align the entire lesson to my standards. So I'm going to let it load up and then I want align entire lesson to standards attached. Again, it's gonna pull apart the document, so it might take a few minutes. I'll pause and then we'll come back to see what it's done. So as it was building and restructuring everything for my standards, it did ask about the engineering design, and that grade 6 doesn't have this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to add a resource, and this one is going to be the crosswalks. And that's for next generation science standards if you don't know what NGSS is. And then I'm going to just tell it to use this document. Click a type and continue. So as soon as it's loaded, I'm just going to send it. There it goes. And then it's going to continue thinking. All right, so it's come up with another issue. So it's telling me that the crosswalk ties engineering design content to Newton's third law. May want to change it. It says happy to add. Yes, I always say yes. Okay, so it's already showing me, it directed me to where it changed. And it showed me the changes that it made to reflect. So you can see that here. It now has I always forget what the accordion, or I always forget what this one is. So it changed it for me. So now that it makes sense with my curriculum. All right. So let's say we're here. Now, one thing I always like to do is add an agenda with suggested time periods. So I'm going to add that to this right here. I'm going to tell it to add a agenda for a 75-minute virtual class uh, session. Again, it's going to think for a little bit, so I'm going to pause. Okay, so you can see it's now added time periods, and this is going to reflect a 75-minute class. It did ask me if it wanted to make any changes. I'm okay for it right now, but if I want to come back later, I can adjust it. So a couple more things I want to show you. I never like these squish tiles, so I want all my tiles to be in full. So set all pages, plural, tiles to full. I don't like it squished, so I always put that in there. I'm going to go ahead and pause. It shouldn't take as long though. All right, it's done. Yay. It's much better. Though I'm not crazy about the theme, so let's go ahead and change the theme as well. So we can go over here to theme. I like things that are a little bit darker, so I'm going to click on where it says plain blue. You can choose some different ones, but you can also go to show old themes. And there's a bunch of different ones that either I've used or were already created. Let's just do deep leaves because I like it a little bit darker, so you can see that. While you're here, though, you can also change the type of font. So if you like something a little bit bolder, you can do something like Rubik. I like that one. You can change the size as well. You can do bold, make it a little bit thicker. You can change the color. Let's see. Let's go like a light blue. Let's see what it looks like. Pearly color. So you can see change the color here. And then same thing with paragraph. You can change the font. I'll just do a different font just to show you. And then again, I like doing bold. Actually, I'm going to do my header extra bold. Yeah. And then again, you can change that. Let's go. I don't know. Am I feeling pink? I think I'm going to go a little bit. Yeah, that's much better. I'm going to go bolder. A little too. There we go. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. Now you don't have to like it. It's fine. Accent, that just changes these up here, but you can change that. Make it a little darker. You can see like the borders and everything get a little bit darker. You can also change the backgrounds. Let's say we like it dark, but we don't like this image. We can edit that image. You can upload something that you already have. I'll just find something real quick. No, it's in my screenshots. So let's just, oh, that's cute. I want something a little bit dark. So that one's dark. We're going to go ahead and use that one. And I don't believe you have to do anything but just close it. So you can see now my background's dark, but it's not leaves anymore. It's the Big Dipper. So I still have my dark background, but my image has changed a little bit. I have not saved this, so we haven't enabled any staging. So everything I do right now is already being automatically saved. Let's make this, you know what? I like this, but I think I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. I'm gonna make this a display. Ooh. maybe not all of it. And it's grade 6. Let me change that real quick. All right. I'll leave it for now. But I like this layout. So I want to keep this layout. I want to be able to use this again. So right here, if you want to keep this, you like the way this came out, you want to use this as like a model for a lesson later on, all you have to do is click the 3 dots right here and you can create a page template. So I'm going to put this page template starter or start of lesson. There we go. And then click create. So now when you go to click a new page, you will see that that is an option. Oops, that's not the one. There it is. So that's now an option. So if I wanted to go to another lesson and I wanted to use this, I could actually just add this as a template. And another thing you can do, which I love, is you can also copy this. So if you copy this, go into another Teach Suite lesson, you can simply paste it and then have it rewrite that template. So this was a copied lesson. I didn't go into something that I already created, so I did have to make a new template. And so once you share that, or once you save that, you can go find it. And something else you can do, if you like this entire lesson, you're like, you know what, I really like the way it's structured, click the 3 dots and you can make the entire lesson